Hi there, good afternoon, and thank you for joining today's TruckLogics webinar. My name is Charles, and I'm joined today by Mr. Bryan Henson, our product manager for TruckLogics. Just want to thank you very much for joining us today. And as you can see right now, what we're looking at is TruckLogics.com. Today's webinar is going to be covering how to get started with TruckLogics. So we're going to be going through the setup wizard, creating a brand new account, and how to actually dispatch and start your first load. So as you can see right now, we're looking at TruckLogics.com. If you want to get a quick little tour of all the features that we have to offer, you can click on the tour button right here. Just a quick little tour. It gives you a little summary of every feature that TruckLogics has to offer, everything from setting up your loads, dispatching them, creating invoices, trip settlements, managing your accounts, your address book to keep all your people up to date, your truck zone for your trucks, maintenance, and equipment, and also IFTA and urine reporting. Everything can be tracked through TruckLogics. We're only going to cover a small slice of it today in today's webinar, but there is so much that you can do with this to maintain your trucking business on the go. You can see our features and pricing up here at the top. I'd also like to point out that we do have a fully functional app for TruckLogics as well. This app can be used on iPads, iPhones, Androids, and mobile devices. So when you're on the go, you can still track your information with TruckLogics. There's nothing holding you back here. So we really want to encourage the fact that you can use the program on the go as well as from a computer. So managing your business isn't just something that you do when you get home from a trip. You can do it throughout the whole process. I would like to highlight our support options. You can see some photos of our excellent support team here. You can reach us by phone, email, online chat, or interact with us on social media. You can give us a call anytime at 704-234-6946 or send us an email at support@trucklogics.com. And again, you can always chat with us from within the program. As you see at the very top of the page, we've got a little chat with us button. You can always click on that to contact us instantly from our office headquartered here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've got a full team of real people ready to talk to you if you have questions along the way, so don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email. I'd also like to point out we do have several other live training sessions coming up here. Today's the November 5th one here. You see we're doing a Getting Started webinar. 2 weeks from now, on November 19th, we're going to be going over some of the pro features. So this includes things like invoicing, setting up IFTA, using the mobile app, and also how to manage your accounts and driver settlements, things like that. You can manage those with TruckLogics as well. So keep a look on these upcoming webinars that we have scheduled here in TruckLogics. And beyond that, I'm just going to go ahead and log in here. What you can do if you've not yet signed up for TruckLogics is you can always sign up for a free trial by clicking on the free trial button at the very top. And again, I would like to say that in addition to writing in the questions on the question box, you can always call us right now. We do have a full team ready to talk to you right now live. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar, you can always give us a call at 704-234-6946. The number's at the top of the page. Or you can click on the Chat With Us button directly at TruckLogics.com so you can chat with our live team right now. All right. So here I am. I just created a brand new account with TruckLogics. So this is what you're going to see when you're first getting started. Right now, it's this is what we call the setup wizard. It's going to go through some of the main things that you have to do to get your business set up so that you can start entering your loads and dispatching them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Get Started button, and it's going to want to get my business details first of all. So this account I've created as if I am an owner-operator. Business name, that's pretty straightforward. We have a great feature called Lookup Address. So you simply have to start entering your street address, and it's going to auto-populate here. So I'm just going to click on that one there. That's our address here at the office. I'm going to click Next. And here you can see some of the add-on features that we have. Now, a great feature that we've incorporated into TruckLogics is the Pro Miles feature. You can use Pro Miles to track your mileage. This is particularly useful if you're tracking IFTA as well. So if you click on the IFTA button, You can click on whether you want to add an IFTA subscription to this. This allows you to track your quarterly IFTA reports and create those online. You're already tracking this information when you create a load and dispatch it, so you might as well be able to create your IFTA reports in here as well if you need to be filing those on a quarterly basis. An additional service we offer is an LTL subscription. So if you frequently have less than truckload loads that you carry, you can enable that feature as well. We try not to nickel and dime you for too much here at TruckLogics, but these are two extra features that you would need if you use IFTA or if you do a lot of less than truckload orders. All right. Now we are on the section for driver and equipment. So right now it's just my first and last name. You can also enter their driver ID and specify an email and phone number. I'm going to click on next, and that's going to take me to the truck info, so I can give this unit number here for the truck.
I did want to point out the driver's email. When you put that in there, actually when you dispatch loads to your drivers, that's the email that you can choose to notify the driver that they've been dispatched. So make sure to fill that in if you want to utilize the mobile app and the dispatching features that go along with that.
Very good point to bring up. Thanks, Brian. Now for the truck, I'm going to go ahead and enter the unit number here, and you can also add the make, the model, the year of the truck. So if you want to go ahead and customize that so you know which truck this driver is using, you can go ahead and do that here. Also select if you want to include it in the billing, include it in IFTA reporting, or specify if it's not in service anymore. Then you can do the same thing for the trailer. So you give it a unit number, make, model, year, everything like that, and you can save that trailer to your equipment section. All right, and here we're in preferences, and the first preference we have is your time zone. So obviously you're going to be in different time zones every day if you're on the road a lot, but this just refers to your base time zone. So whatever your home office is, go ahead and enter the time zone for that. We're on the East Coast, so I'm going to go ahead and have Eastern time. And I'm going to move on to the dispatches page.
I want to point out we do also have military time available. I know there's a lot of truck drivers that are veterans or just operate off of military time, so you can actually set up your account that way as well.
Exactly. See, right now I've got 12 hours. You can easily change that to 24 hours if you're on military time rather than the standard. All right, so we've got dispatch information as well. So here you can select whether you want the system to automatically generate your dispatch number automatically, or if you want to manually enter your dispatch numbers. The dispatch number, you can do it manually, or you can choose to do it automatically. It'll save you a little time if you decide to do it automatically, because you won't have to manually enter that each time you create a load. So you can customize that here by changing the prefix and also the seed number here. So if you want to change this from DIS to anything else, you can go in here and edit that. And you can also change the seed number. Now the seed number refers to the start number. So this is going to be the first number of the dispatch that you create in TruckLogics. So if you've already been using another system and you want to start it at, say, 2,500, you can just change that seed number there to whatever you want it to be.
Along with the manual dispatch number system, a lot of guys will get their load numbers from a broker or a certain customer, and they don't match up every time. So that's a great way to be able to match your load number with what your customer is giving you. So if you need to go back at some point in time and reference that, it's real easy to search it and find it.
That's true, because when you select the automatic option, you're not going to be able to go in there and manually change it. It's going to be stuck with the standard dispatch number that we assign to it automatically. So if your dispatches, if they vary from load to load, then you may need to go with the manual option. And the same thing goes for invoices. You can select to have it done automatically, or you can just choose to enter them manually. And you've got the same options to edit the prefix and the seed number for your starting invoice number. All right. Also on the print preferences, you can adjust that to just show the freight details of the load, or you can select if you would also like to print out the driver and equipment details as well. So that's just under your print preferences for when you decide you want to print the particular invoice. That's the information that's going to show up there by default. And in the reporting section, you can choose your information for the profit and loss. So here you can select whether you use cash accounting or accrual accounting. So this is completely up to you. You can customize that. If you need to talk to your accountant or somebody who manages your finances about that option, you're more than welcome to do so. But basically just the slight difference in accounting methods between cash and accrual.
Yeah, and these are just the default settings. So actually, when you generate the profit and loss report, you can switch back and forth at any time.
That's true. It's not a set in stone option here. It's just how the reports are going to run by default. So you can change those based on your how you run your business. And we have the odometer information. So in the odometer preferences section, you can select if you want to create the trip sheets with odometer entries, whether you're tracking current odometer readings of the check calls. Having the exact odometer entries can be a little cumbersome for the process, so we've chosen to not make certain ones the default option. You can track odometer at time of fueling. If you'd rather not have to do that, you can uncheck that option, and that's going to make the program a little quicker, a little less cumbersome if you're not necessarily needing to track those odometer entries at every little junction.
Absolutely. And that was a highly requested thing, which we took the feedback and we got in here to make it a little easier depending on how you do things, if you want to choose to keep track of odometer readings or not.
Yep. So it's completely up to you, and you can customize that however you'd like. We've also got some reminder options here. So by default, what you're going to get on a daily basis from TruckLogics is a daily alert email. So this is going to let you know everything you have coming up that particular day, whether it's an invoice, a maintenance task, dispatches, expiration date that's coming up. You can get notifications from that every day from TruckLogics. And you can also get these event-based alerts down here. So when you see these like invoice due dates, dispatch pickup alerts, you can select how many days before this event you would like it to take place. So you can customize that. We've got a few marked here by default. For example, your driver's license expiration or medical card renewal, that's set at 30 days. So if you need to adjust that, if you need a little more time, you can go in here and change that to 45 or even 60 days if you need a lot of time to schedule that doctor's visit or time to schedule that time to go to the DMV to get that taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and click next, and it looks like I've finished the setup wizard here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this Go to Dashboard button to start using TruckLogics. Now, when you first log into your TruckLogics account after you've gone through the setup wizard, this is the page you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of the dashboard. This is like the command center for your account. It's going to have all the important information right here. So you see your active dispatches up here on the top left. You see your open invoices. So you see, who still owes you money at this point, and your upcoming maintenance tasks. So you can really stay on top of all your equipment and make sure everything's taken care of properly. If you ever need to go back into the settings, you can always click on the settings button in the top right. So you can click on settings or the setup button to go in and change some of your general account information as you go through. I would also like to point out a couple of very important buttons throughout the program. As you can see, I mentioned before, we've always got our phone number at the very top of the page. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact us. We're always happy to help answer any questions you may have. You can send us suggestions as well using the suggestion box at the top. So you click on the suggestion button, go ahead and send us any feedback you have. If there's something that you don't see that you think we should offer, you can go ahead and enter that. You can click the chat with us button to chat with us right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. You see what it looks like here. Just enter your name, email, a subject, and your question, and we'll chat with you right then and there. We also have a help button here, so you can see some quick little help guides for the page that you're looking at. If you have any questions about a particular section of TruckLogics, just click on the help button, and you should be able to get a little more information there. And lastly, I'd like to point out this Add New button. This is going to be a very important button for you in the program because this is going to allow you to instantly add new information to any of these sections. So when you click on Add New, you can instantly create a new dispatch. You can instantly create a new contact in your address book, instantly create a new income or expense account, or add new equipment to your truck zone. If you have a new truck, a trailer, anything you'd like to add there, add a fuel expense really quickly, add some maintenance tasks. They can all be done simply through this Add New button, which is on every page of TruckLogics. So you can click on the Dispatches button. You can click on your dispatches, view all your dispatches, click on New Dispatch to go through going through the dispatch page, or you can simply click on Add New Dispatch, and you're on the Create New Dispatch section there. So obviously this is one of the first things you're going to want to do when you get set up with TruckLogics is to create a new dispatch. So here you just start by entering the dispatch number. Since we chose to go manual, I'm just going to go ahead and enter a dispatch number manually there. And then for the customer information, you can go ahead and type up some information for your customer here. Now typically when you get started using TruckLogics, it's going to save these customers each time. So let's say that this particular customer is, let's say it's, got to click on the Add button. So as I mentioned before, when you're adding a customer, you're simply going to select from a drop-down and select your customer there. But since we don't have any customers, it's a brand new account, you're going to need to click on the Add button right here. So you need to enter the company name, their address, billing address, all that good stuff here. So let's just say here.
And that's a real quick and easy process. And another thing we do offer is if you're maybe using another program before you started with TruckLogics, and you have all of your contacts in some sort of file, you can actually email that to us, and we can actually upload your contacts for you. So that makes the getting starting process a lot easier. Like Charles said, you can just quickly search in the box, and any contacts you have on file, it auto-populate all of this information.
Yep. All right, so this the customer information looks like this one's in New York here. I'm going to go ahead and save that information. Actually, you see if there's a little checks and balances in the program here. You can't save the program, the customer, without selecting a pickup date. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. You can also get it down to the hour if you have that information already. So let's say this pickup's at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Go ahead and click Save.
Notice there's other options here, delivery instructions, contact details. All that stuff is optional to fill in, but if you do choose to utilize that and put some of those details in there, you can actually view that on the driver's app. So you can actually send that information over to your driver if they need to know who the contact person is or their specific directions, in the last mile of the trip. They can get all that information right there on their smartphone.
And what I'm doing now is I'm assigning the consignee for that. So we've already selected the customer. Now I'm adding the consignee to this particular load. We've got Span Enterprises. This load's going from New York to Rock Hill, South Carolina. Let's say the delivery date is tomorrow night by, let's say, 8 o'clock. All right. So now we've saved the shipper and the consignee. You can also add additional information in the freight details. So if you wanted to have a quick little summary of what is being carried in this particular load, you can add the description, the weight, the quantity, dimensions for that, and also a declared value. Now none of these are required fields, but it is available to you, so you can help customize this particular load. Now what you're going to need to enter for sure are going to be the charges on here. So you can select your hauling fees, whether this is a flat fee, per mile, per ton, or however that may be. So I'm going to go ahead and just select a rate here for this particular load. You can also add any accessorial fees. We've got a few here listed by default. You can also click on the Add New button to create a brand new fee if there's something that you don't see here, something that you need to offer for a particular load, you can do that.
You can do fuel surcharges as well, or even discounts. You can add discounts on there at the bottom above the total amount. Commonly, that would be like quick pay or something where you're discounting your broker a percentage of the load. So you can go ahead and add that on. And all this information added here in the charges section is automatically going to fill in an invoice for you later in the program. So we're not going to go over that today, but that's kind of the purpose of doing this.
That's right. Now, over on the right, you can see we've got a miles section. And by default, we have it listed as manual, but you can easily calculate the miles for this by using ProMiles. So we talked about having ProMiles earlier, a great way to route the particular trip that you're taking. So I clicked on the ProMiles option here, and it's giving me two options. I can select practical or shortest. So you can choose how you want this to be routed. If you want to use the most efficient method or the shortest distance, you can select that here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at practical. I'm going to click on calculate miles.
Again, the benefit of using the ProMiles is that it's going to be truck-specific routing. So you're not going to run into a tunnel that you couldn't go into or a bridge you may not be able to travel on or something like that. It's going to be specific to a truck. And again, on this page, we're talking about charges. So this is for billing purposes. Mainly, if you're billing your customer on a per-mile basis, you're going to get more accurate mileage from ProMiles. As far as the IFTA goes, that's it later in the program as well. ProMiles will show up again.
Yeah. Just to point out again, you see we've got the two different options here: is using Google Maps or using ProMiles. Now, if you're going to use Google Maps, that's obviously going to be configured as if it's just a regular car taking this route. So ProMiles does take into account the fact that you are a truck taking these routes. So it should be optimized for you and for your business. You have additional details here, such as a drop trailer. You can specify information, whether it's a hazmat load, oversized, reefer, anything like that. You can also add the driver. So we've got the driver that we've already added here. If you needed to add a brand new driver that may not already be listed in your account, you just click on the Add Driver button. So you just add the driver, the payment type, things like that. You can add their expiration date to their license. Or if you have a contract start and end date, you can customize that as well.
You can also add team drivers. So if you do have team drivers, you just add an additional driver there. And we can separate out the pay, the mileage, everything for the team drivers you have.
Yep. I'll just go ahead and select the truck that we've already added here and also the trailer. And I'm going to go ahead and click Create Dispatch. All right, so now you can see that this dispatch has been assigned right now. Well, we've created the dispatch anyway. So the next steps here would be, you customize the routing, add different driver and equipment information. If you need to customize that, set up your check calls, create an invoice, run a trip sheet, and you can see all these options up here at the very top of the page here. So you see a quick little summary. If you want to view the routing information, you can view that here. We've got it going from New York to Rock Hill. You can view the map for that. So you have all that information available to you. Driver and equipment information, this has been assigned already. We've selected our driver as well as our truck information. And here's the check calls, which can be done through TruckLogics or through the mobile app. So you can select, whether you're starting the trip, if you're at the shipper, pickups complete, en route, at consignee, drop off complete. All these options are right there. So you can track everything throughout the process. And we have invoices.
And so these are more of the pro features we talked about. We'll be talking about in the upcoming webinar. So, kind of from here, you get to the summary page. The main process we went through today of really just adding and loading. You want to get real comfortable with doing that because that's the main function of the program. And from this point forward, it's kind of up to you to set your own process. You don't have to do any of these things in a certain order. It's kind of up to you what you need to utilize from here. But make sure you get down how to load in the program. And if you have any further questions about some of these other features, definitely tune in to our next webinar or give us a call at any point in time. You can always schedule a one-on-one demo with you at your convenience. So definitely feel free to do that.
All right. Yeah, I was just taking a look to see if we had any live questions here for this particular webinar. I would like to point out, we do have, this is a full-on business management program for your business. We're just getting into a small piece of it today with this webinar. You can learn more by contacting us, joining the next webinar. But as you can see in your account, we've got a full-on accounting section where you can view your chart of accounts, income, expenses, receiving payment, driver settlements, updating your address book with all your contact information. So you can add everybody, whether they're customers, brokers, vendors, anybody can be added here. Upload documents to your account. Manage your truck zone so you can always keep up with your trucks, trailers, upcoming maintenance reminders, driver information, things like that. And of course there is IFTA and a full-on reporting system so you can run your profit and loss at the end of the year so you can get your taxes taken care of with as little pain as possible. Let's just check all of stuff.
So we did have a question from Sal here about if we have the option to track trucks, drivers in real time via the driver app. It's kind of a yes and no. You can, as long as your drivers are utilizing the mobile app, they can update you with their time and location via the check call feature. Also, we record all of the driver activity that they do from the mobile app within the main account here. So you can go to your settings and go to My Activities, and you can filter all driver-related activity from the main account here as well. Great question.
Well, I'm not seeing too many more questions on the webinar right now. I do appreciate everybody joining us today. We hope you're doing well, whether you're out there on the road right now or if you're watching this from home. We do appreciate everything you do to keep our country moving, keep everything getting to where they need to go. I'm getting one more question here.
All right. Barton has a question if we have the option to add owner-operators. Yes, you can add owner-operators to your account. So this account, for example, is really only meant for a one-man operation. You would probably need to be in the small fleet or up accounts to utilize adding owner-operators. But basically, when you add them in, or you add any driver to the program, it's going to ask you if they are independent or company driver. So as long as you're selecting that they are independent, you can track them that way throughout the program. And generate pay stubs, pay settlements for them, generate fuel tax for them separately if you need to. Their expenses don't necessarily have to be associated with the expenses your company incurred within TruckLogics. So you can just dispatch them separately that way.
And I pulled up the pricing page there if you are curious, if you have a small fleet, if you're not an owner-operator or lease driver, as we've kind of been looking at an account that was specifically for independent owner-operators. But we do have bigger packages as well. If you have a small fleet or mid-sized fleet to manage multiple trucks, you can do that as well with TruckLogics. We've got a package for anyone, so
right.
Definitely check that out.
One of the other advantages of the fleet packages is that you can assign owner-operators or other drivers their own specific logins to the mobile app so that they don't get to see all of your personal business information. They're only going to see things that are specific to them in TruckLogics. So only loads that you dispatch them, they're not going to see any of the financial information associated with what maybe you're charging your customer for that load. They're only going to see what they need to see and not anything else. Great questions.
Yeah, good stuff today. Really want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's been great to be able to talk to you. We're happy to talk to you from our headquarters here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We got a full team of people that are ready to take your questions as well. If you do have any questions you want to talk to us about in a little more detail, one-on-one, definitely give us a call, 704-234-6946. We'd be happy to talk to you.